What I've uncovered recently has been some of the biggest secrets and Easter eggs found within the game. These secrets were likely missed by a majority of players, despite them being hidden in plain sight. What I'm about to show you is some of the most eerie and gut-wrenching secrets of the Playtime company. It's not an exaggeration to say that Miss Delight's chase is one of the hardest in Poppy Playtime, but would you be surprised to find out that her boss room actually holds a secret? Not only do we have to outrun her, we also need to solve some puzzles while she's hunting us down. We might be too focused on escaping at the moment, which is why this secret is easily missed. If you stop for a moment to take a look, you'll be able to find some interesting objects on the walls. One of them is this poster for a school club called Drama Club of Shadows. If normal schools offer extracurricular activities like sports, reading clubs, or painting, Playcare does the exact opposite. According to the sheet, they provide students with a drama club specifically training them on how to scare the audience. In this club, students can learn macabre acting techniques, cursed scripts, ghastly set design, and haunting props. Playtime, in his own sick and twisted idea of a joke, is starting to teach young students on how to utilize fear. This just shows how dark of a company Playtime is, since they don't care for anything except preparing these children for becoming toys. Right next to the poster is an announcement for curfew enforcement. In the notice, it's reported that several students and staff members have gone missing. The missing children are of course those who got turned into toys, and the missing staff members must be the employees who were exterminated by Boxy Boo, having learned too much about the company's secrets. The notice also mentions that whoever is not in their dorm room by 7 p.m. will get disciplinary action. Now this disciplinary action sounds really ominous. Since it's Playtime, it could involve something physical, or in the worst case scenario, the punishment might be the child getting turned into a toy. The counselor's office is one of the last places we can unlock in chapter 3. It's where things start to get real, with Catnap's presence getting more and more evident. Inside, there's this big hole in one of the walls that leads to a room filled with red gas. You can't enter the room yet, but as you walk closer to it, Catnap's silhouette can be seen hunting down what appears to be a Bunzo Bunny. It happens in a blink of an eye, so it's very easy to miss. Now we can't really confirm if Catnap kills the Bunzo doll, because he falls right before Catnap reaches him. Also, Catnap is never shown to deliver the finishing blow, so it's more than likely that Bunzo is dying because of something else. There's the possibility that Catnap was probably there to collect him on behalf of the prototype. As we all know, he's a slave to the prototype and would do anything for him. The prototype himself likes to collect dead toys and has the ability to merge with them. Therefore, Catnap has a good reason to try and take the toy to the prototype as an offering. If that's not the case, then he might be carrying the dead Bunzo off to his prototype shrine. We know that a lot of these Playtime toys have a ravenous hunger, so at the very least, Catnap would probably eat them. Considering all the hideous stuff that's been going on in Playtime Co., mistreating their employees seems to be a trivial thing. The company doesn't even hesitate to kill them, and on top of that, they've been secretly recording their employees' conversations. This shouldn't come as a surprise to a Poppy Playtime fan, and some of the tapes we find around the facility are proof of that. For example, like the ones with Rich complaining to his colleagues, Avery and Stewart. There are even physical transcripts for these hidden recordings. A document containing dialogues between Joel Sinclair and Dr. Thomas Clark can be found in chapter 3. Most likely, it was recorded without their knowledge. Interestingly, the lines of Thomas Clark's are blacked out, but we can still read Joel Sinclair's lines to get hints of what happened to Theodore Graham Bell, better known as Catnap. One of them reads, "That poor kid. I saw the burns as they were wheeling him out, but nobody knew what was going on. Something about him sneaking out of Home Sweet Home. That day, Theodore almost got himself killed. The prototype instructed him to use the green hand to open a door, but unfortunately, he shocked himself instead. This left him injured and practically knocking on death's door. Without some quick thinking from the prototype, Theodore wouldn't have made it back alive." And in another line, Joel says, "He's 7. How would he know what to do with it in the first place?" Theodore was really young when they began experiments on him, so it's no wonder Catnap didn't turn out to be mentally stable. The next secret is actually presented to us in the first chapter, but its peculiarity becomes more apparent as we reach chapter 3. Remember the letter we received that ordered us to go find the flower? There are 2 misspelled words on the paper. The word disappeared has an extra S, and the apostrophe in the word weir is placed in the wrong spot. What we're most likely supposed to gather from this is that the person who wrote it is most likely a child, probably one who is still trapped inside a toy, or perhaps one of the living orphans who survived. But something doesn't feel right about it. Somehow, they have enough knowledge on how to use the post office to send a letter to an exact address. Also, the game makes it look like Poppy was the one who wrote it, due to her signature poppy flower drawn at the bottom. The fact that the first chapter ends with her tries to convince us that she's the one who sent it, but it's definitely not the case, because Poppy claims she's been stuck inside the case for a long time. It's also very out of character for Poppy to make spelling mistakes, since she is fairly mature and one of the smartest toys in the factory. Based on this evidence, someone else must have written it, most likely someone who never got a real school education. While we're still talking about Poppy, not many people seem to pay attention to this next clue. Why are there hanging dead toys toys in front of the door that leads us to her. These toys include the less popular ones like Braun and Catby. Who killed them, or better yet, who put them there? The one entity that's most likely to be responsible for that is the prototype. There are also words like danger, go back, and turn around written around the door. It would make sense if he did it to deter anyone who wants to reach Poppy, knowing that she's a threat to him. However, since the prototype's main focus is to merge with the dead toys, maybe it was Catnap who placed them there. I can see the prototype subordinate intentionally creating this gripping atmosphere to prevent anyone from opening the door. In chapter 2, there was actually supposed to be a different piece of dialogue that was removed from the game. Poppy speaks to us to let us know that she was trapped for a very long time and that we need to stay with her because we're useful. However, in the original draft, she had a different dialogue, which was more bone-chilling than the one we have now. Listen to this.
I know you came to find the ones who had disappeared all those years ago, but they're gone. They've been gone for a long time. Terrible things have happened, and I am the cause. Being able to exist as a doll, it has killed so many people. So much is unknown to you. Where do I even begin?
In short, she confesses that she's the reason for the staff members' disappearances. Of course, the dialogue has been removed. If she actually said that, the whole plot of the game would have changed drastically. This might have also foreshadowed the truth behind her character. Despite convincing us that she's an ally, she might have turned out to be an antagonist. But we could also interpret what she said in a different way. For example, by saying I am the cause, she might have meant that she caused the higher-ups to keep producing more and more experiments because of how successful she was. As if one experiment lab wasn't enough, Playtime has actually been building another in secret. Around the area of Mommy Longlegs, you'll find a secret letter written by an employee. It seems like they have been contacting this construction company called Warrenbach Construction. The main topic they are discussing is the establishment of a new laboratory. Whoever wrote that letter put great emphasis on the secrecy of this new project. Playtime was even willing to pay them $100,000 just to keep the construction company's mouth shut. They were expecting the second lab to be completed in 1 year. Now, what if the new lab was going to be used for another type of toy experiment? The experiments they were planning to do could be more extreme and dangerous than the ones they were already working on. Maybe the final boss of this game isn't the prototype, but the monsters Playtime made in that lab. If this theory comes true, then we'll be able to unlock this second laboratory in one of the later chapters. So these are 7 of the best secrets and Easter eggs you can find in Poppy Playtime. If there's any secret or Easter egg we missed, leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications because we'll be back with more videos like this. See you next time.